Good day to everyone. This is Greg Enriquez, the President and CEO of a company that serves the industrial and power plant sectors. This is about the preservation of expensive equipment and power plants, military storage facilities. What we will be presenting here are the whys and how we preserve this expensive equipment that are in your premises or possession. We have noticed in the past from calls from these big power plants in the country, which are mostly based from international activities like ABB, one of the biggest power plants in the whole world, California Energy, Quezon Power Plant, Italian Electric, National Power Corporation, Ibasco, one of the biggest engineering design company for power plants, which had serviced the Bataan nuclear plant in the days of the construction and after the construction, which is the preservation of the plant. As you can see, it's mostly the most expensive part of the power plant. Just to give you an idea, 100 megawatt coal fired or nuclear plant will cost about 1.5 to 2 million US dollar per megawatt. That means 100 megawatt will cost about 100 million to 200 million dollars. And considering these expenses, when the plant is in idle position or in servicing, it is a must to control the destructive effect of moisture and humidity. The uncontrolled moisture and humidity causes corrosion, oxidation, decay, destruction, unbalances, inefficiency of the plant. A recent case is what we call is 1,200 megawatt combined cycle in Ilihan, Batangas. We were called to look at their gas turbine, and they have been experiencing cracks or breakdown on one of the blades. And imagine just one blade as long as a ruler or a 12 inches to 18 inches ruler will cost about $45,000 per piece. Whereas had this been subjected to a controlled humidity using a sorption dehumidification setup, it would have been prevented the unnecessary costs. Also, on the main control room, where there are so many nowadays controls using semicon, electronics, parts and components, PC board, PLC, which contains a lot of electronic wire and harness, it succumb to a bad moisture humidity when the room is uncontrolled. So it causes also breakdown, brownouts when time comes. So this is it. It may be high time now for those who are in the industry, which I'm sure many are aware of, to institute the proper humid control in their plant. Very recently we were called by San Miguel Corporation, and as we all know, San Miguel is into acquisition of several power plants, one of which is the one in Pangasinan, which is 600 megawatt coal-fired. Then the ABB 300 megawatt combined cycle in Bataan, which was acquired also by San Miguel. Reason why we were called up is because they would want to embark again in the proper humidity control of their equipment, as they realize how expensive these equipment are now if not properly protected. So corrosion is caused by moisture or water. It enhances its corrosive capability. It's because of the pollutants in around our environment caused by vehicles which emits a lot of sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide, when combined with water, is equivalent to hydrochloric acid. And hydrochloric acid, when it the surface of metals, enhance its corrosivity and increase its presence of oxidation and corrosion. So using sorption dehumidification, it lowers moisture and humidity, as well as what you call the condensation temperature or dew point. So when the dew point is low, there is less chances of water conversion because the dew point is not being reached, as provided by a good dehumidification system. In the pictures that you have seen, there are parts that corrodes, electronic PC board that build up oxidation, molds, what you call in copper and gold, the green corrosion. These are all caused by water or moisture. To prevent it, there must be a good dehumidification system, as we are promoting and carrying it. In the picture, the problem is moisture. There are three graphs. One is the corrosion graph. As you can see, when the moisture or humidity in the room is high, the rate of corrosion increases in exponential rate. What you see is a graph again on what you call the water or moisture absorbing capability, scientifically called hygroscopic materials. The water contents depends on the humidity level. Our normal in the room is about 60 to 80%, as you can see, and that's how it affects the hygroscopic characteristic of materials: cloth, plastic, insulation. And that's the reason why the power loss is high, is because the resistance is low. With the formula, power loss is equal to I square over R. When you have a low R, that means your power loss will be high. Talking about what you call the dependability, MTBF, which means simply mean time between failure. As you can see in the graph, an equipment exposed to good humidity level will have a higher mean time between failure. That means it will take a little more time to expect destruction or corrosion. In here is what you see, a PC board. When the humidity on the horizontal line is high, the corrosion increases. In here is a steam turbine, and as recommended, it should be on an RH 45% only to prevent oxidation, or what you call corrosion, as a result of high moisture content in the turbine surfaces. You can see this also in the pictures that have been taken. The yellowish part of the turbine shows contaminated already with corrosion. Here, very clearly, a PC board, after it is being used and not properly subjected to good humidity control, it corrodes, destruct, affect the performance of the equipment. To the right, as you can see, even medicines, when it is high moisture content, it cakes, deteriorates. Efficacy is low because it contains already water. Here again is another PC board, and you see the formation of corrosion on bolts, wire harness, microchips. And it's not only in power plants, but as well as in food manufacturing, pharmaceutical, semicon. As you can see here in the graph, a metal, white on the left side, which is uncorroded, and on the right is a yellow, which shows the corrosion. In the construction of power plants, you can see wires, steel bars, tendons for pre-stressing, and before a concrete is poured, it must be conditioned that is free from moisture, so that when the concrete is laid down on it already, when moisture is not present anymore, and thus will prevent any corrosion on the tendons steel. Here you can see the Bataan nuclear power plant, which we did in 1989. When we arrived there upon inspection, many of the equipment have started to decay because of corrosion attacks. As we presented our equipment, the technical people from NPC have seen what they are expecting to happen because of the corrosion. So thereafter, after reviewing, analyzing our proposal, they have purchased several equipment to be installed in several of their power plant main components and auxiliaries. Okay, on coal part, we knew that coal, when combusted, produces sulfur dioxide as a waste material. This will be in the form of powders which are on the surfaces of the tubes. And once the surface is subjected to high humidity, and we all knew that humidity is water, it turns into sulfuric acid. And I've said earlier, sulfuric acid is an acid that enhance or speed up corrosion development in any metal, even for airplanes. And did you know that Air Force One and Air Force Two is always under humidity control before flying? They must see to it that it's on condition, so that it is ensured that no moisture or humidity is in the system. A good reference will be one of the Apollo ships that exploded in the mid-air. Upon investigation after the bursting of the Apollo module, it has been found that there was electrical shortages, which means that the water has acted as another conduit to short another wire. In the picture that you see are military hardware and equipment. The Apollo launch mission, which are all moisture humidity treated. And the reason why, as I've said earlier, is to prevent water in the system so as not to corrode, decay, deteriorate the setup that will affect and hamper its operation. As you can see, almost all industries now uses moisture humidity controller, because in this age of mass productions, miniatures, microchips, sachets, food sachets, they all have to be treated with moisture humidity controller so that water will not be trapped in the packages. So these are the comments of some people who have bought from us the equipment 5 and 10 years ago. They were very satisfied of the outcome, one of which is the nuclear power station. When inspected after 10 years, they found out that the equipment are still in good, without corrosion condition. So there will be, if ever it will be retested, it will be ready for operation with minimum cost investment to reoperate. So Dynacool is not only on moisture humidity control, but as well as in air conditioning, where we have foreign projects like in Vietnam, Saudi Arabia in the early 20s, the Quezon coal-fired power plant, moisture humidity control, and chimney, where we constructed one of the highest chimney. It is equivalent to about 60-story building and a base diameter of 17 meters. We have our contractor, which is our principal from Milan, Italy, called Hammond Thermal Engineers, who principally constructed it in coordination with Dynacool Industrial Corporation. Our new products, as you can see, is what you call UTEC, which simply means humidity technology. We are into industrial, commercial, and we have also what you call a dry cool, which saves a lot of energy. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. We hope that you shall be able to get ideas to be applied to where you are now to preserve and maintain the equipment that you are taking care of. As you can see, the giants in power plants like Siemens, ABB, the Bacon Manito with the Italian electric company did it, all bought from us, moisture and humidity controller. So, again, gentlemen, ladies, engineers, maintenance engineers, production engineers, quality controllers, it may be high time for you to look at this audiovisual presentation. We thank you so much for your time, listening, watching, and any query or question that you may ask regarding this. We are all ready with all our staff, Mati Makalinaw, Melvin Anancia, Joey Pineda, to assist in whatever way they can do so. So watch also our website and you'll see us from there too, to initially assist you know more about us. Salamat po ng mararami at malaki sa inyong pakikinig.